What's up to all our sidekicks and henchmen out there in the Geek Nation? Welcome to this Thunder Round video. I'm your host, Johnny Destructo, and I am the owner of Johnny Destructo's Hero Complex at 4327 Main Street in Manayunk, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's a comic shop. You should come hang out and buy my stuff. Tomorrow is New Comic Book Day, Wednesday, glory be, every Wednesday, new book day. And I've already given a couple of issues a once-over. I read a couple already, and I thought I would do a Thunder Round, which is a 60-second review of an issue. So the very first thing I read this week was Spider-Man #4 from J.J. Abrams, Henry Abrams, Sara Pichelli on art, and Dave Stewart on colors. And the very first thing you're going to notice, or the first thing I noticed, was the very cool Chadwick Boseman, Rest in Power, 1979 to 2020. A lovely little tribute along the top of every Marvel book that drops this week. I don't know how long they're going to be doing it, but I think it's lovely. I think it's really sweet. I always like when they do stuff like this. And speaking of which, in all of the issues is also a Joe Sinnott memoriam. So I like when they mention people important to the industry who have passed. I think that's important. I like that a lot. Anyway, a year ago, September 18th, 2019 is, I think I did my first Thunder Round video for the YouTube channel, and it was for Spider-Man #1 by J.J. Abrams. And that was a year ago. That was September 18th of 2019. Now, it's September 22nd, 2020. A whole year. And we've gotten 4 issues of this book. So I realize COVID happened and a lot of books have been pushed back, etc., etc. But I mean, it was also really late before COVID. So it's a 5-issue miniseries. It should have been done months and months and months ago. And now we have the penultimate issue, #4. And I've got my little timer here. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to give myself 1 minute. And here we go. My cat is having a conniption down there. He's like flipping all around and just having a ball. This is the 3rd time I've tried to film this video, and he keeps getting in the way. And by getting in the way, I mean being adorable. So here we go. Boom. This book is fine. You know, I can't tell if I'm just stuck in the past because, listen, this isn't about Spider-Man so much as it is about Spider-Man's son, Ben Parker. So in the first issue, Mary Jane was murdered by Cadaverous, I believe his name was, and then Spider-Man quit, and now we've got Ben Parker putting on the suit, which is a little too big for him. He's got a friend called the Marker, and they are fighting this battle. They've sought out Tony Stark. They're fighting, and we started to get the origin story of Cadaverous and how it ties into the Spider-Man mythos. And it's all very well and good. It's fine. It hasn't blown me away. I was much more excited for this book than I probably should have been, and I appreciate how different it is. I appreciate that it's a very different take on the character and the future of the Spider-Man totem, and it's just fine. The art is really nice. It's also kind of loose. It's looser than I usually expect from Sara Pichelli. So, I mean, if you're already reading it, you're going to read issue 4, right? So if you've already read the first 3, you're going to read 4 and 5. It's only 5 issues. But I wouldn't say you have to go grab all of the issues. I think you're fine if you haven't read it yet. And I hate saying that. But honestly, compared to the Amazing Spider-Man series by Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley, this book kind of pales in comparison. And the thing I started to say earlier during the Thunder Round was I'm stuck in the past a little bit, and I think I'll explain what that means. Mayday Parker was a character who was created in a single what if issue, where she is the daughter of Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson Parker. And that literally happened in the comic books. They had a daughter. They thought she died. Norman Osborn paid somebody to whisk away the baby and replace their baby with a dead baby so that they thought that Mayday was stillborn. And they absconded with her in a boat, and that was the last we saw of her. And there was a what if issue what if Mayday Parker lived? Or, I'm not exactly sure what the exact title of it was, but that was the gist. And it was really fun. And it really captured all of the great things about the original Spider-Man series in the 60s. It was sort of hokey. It was a lot of fun. And I'm trying to remember. I don't remember who wrote it, but I do know that Pat O'Leaf was the artist, and that was really nice. And I really I've really grown to like that character. Not only did she have the what if, that what if one issue turned into a long-running series. And so now we've sort of pushed all that to the side. And again, that was like probably 15 years ago. And now we've got this new kid, Ben Parker. And I just have not attached to him emotionally like I did May Parker. I thought she was a really fun character. And now we've just got this kid, Ben, who's fine. He's okay. So as it stands right now, if this is where we're going to leave it, and we have one issue left, and that's all we're going to say about this future and this character, fine. I don't care. If this is a jumping, like a springboard into a new ongoing, or maybe a bunch of mini-series involving this character, and we're actually given time to spend with him and appreciate him as a character and sort of attach emotionally to him, I might change my tune. So far, this is not it. This is not the series for really getting involved with this kid, right? And the future of Spider-Man. So I have a feeling this is just 5 issues, and that's going to be the end of it, especially considering it's taken over a year to get 4 issues out. But I guess, time will tell. Maybe it'll keep going, and we'll see more from these characters, and I'll have a different tune to sing. But as right now, it's just fine. There are some other issues coming out this week that I'm very excited about. Dark Knight's Death Metal Speed Metal #1. It's a one-shot. I'm a big Flash fan, and I'm not super stoked about what they've been doing with Wally, but I'm enough of a Flash family fan, and I've really been enjoying Death Metal, that I'm really stoked for this. And the last one-shot that came out a week or two ago was awesome. And it shouldn't have been a one-shot. It should have been specifically, part of the miniseries Death Metal. So I'm curious to read this. And also out this week, X of Swords, or 10 of Swords, Creation #1. It's the very first part of the X-Men crossover 10 of Swords, which is going to be 22 parts. And this is a one-shot that kicks it all off, and it's going to be going through all of the X-Men books. So I'm really curious about that as well. And it's got art by Pepe Larraz, who is one of my current favorites. I really like his artwork. And it's written by John Hickman and Teenie Howard. So I'm going to give these a shot, see what they're like, and we'll get back to you. Join us this Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Where we live stream our Colts Pop Spoiler Alert podcast, where me and the fellas will review the books from this week. And tonight is book club. If you don't know, my shop does a book club every other Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And then the alternating Tuesdays are actually movie club. Tonight is movie club, and we're doing Four Lions at 8 p.m. And then next Tuesday night at 8 p.m., we're going to be talking about the book which just hit the shelves. It's a hardcover by Joe Hill, who is the son of Stephen King, called Basket Full of Heads, which is awesome. Love that book. It feels like a comic book version of a episode of Tales from the Crypt from HBO. I don't know if you guys ever watched that, but it's one of my favorite horror anthology series, and this feels like exactly that. It's a bucket of fun. I can't wait to talk about it. If you're interested in either of these things, go to Facebook, and there's a Facebook group called JD's Hero Complex Book Club. Click on that. We'll let you in. That's where we vote on what movie and what book we're going to be doing, etc., etc. Like, subscribe, do all this stuff. And if you need any comics, hit me up. I'll mail them to you. I'm here. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll talk at you later.